Well, let me ask you this, and this is gonna fucking get you mad, maybe, or get you back unstable, unhinged. Because I asked you last year, so that I'm like, you could still do this at a pro level, right? You're like, I can shit on 90% of the people that are playing right now.
Yeah.
Do you think to this day you can still?
90% is a little high. I think if I was dedicated and I was in the same state of mind as I am right now, I think I could still be a pro.
Yeah.
Straight up. I think I have the talent. I hate talking like this.
No, please, this is where you do it.
For the amount of time that I competed and all these others competed, I did extremely well.
Yeah.
So when people talk poorly about how I didn't compete in as competitive generation and all that type of stuff,
look, these morons
a lot of these people were playing at the same time I was. It's not my fault.
Yeah.
It's not. How is that my fault?
No, it isn't.
You know?
No. So all these morons say the same thing about fucking Michael Jordan. That if Michael Jordan played,
you're triggering so many people right now.
I don't give a shit. These are facts. Okay, Michael Jordan's the best that ever lived. Period. Okay, and the fact that people say, well, he didn't play in this era. I'm like, he used to get like punched going up. You know, it doesn't matter. But yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. I think you still can, and that's why I asked you last year. That's why I'm asking you right now, is because I do think that you can. You know, that sort of skill is a flip of a switch, right? And then perfect example, look at Manny Pacquiao. Just recently, they thought that Broner was going to go in there and beat the shit out of him because he's younger, faster, and that. But when you have a talent, and it's a God-given talent, that it's more than just practice. This is a gift. You know, you're above somebody else in that situation.
Oh, and people love stats. Like, you look at my career stats. I have like a .98.
Yeah.
But I sure have a lot of championships. Yeah. I switched roles to the objective when we picked up Scump and Proof back in Black Ops 1. I was a perfectionist when I was a player. I'm still a perfectionist when it comes to being a coach.
Yeah.
And you see all this talent, and they do not play the game as well as they could.
Yeah.
So that's exactly why I wanted to be a coach.
Yeah.
And I think it was the perfect transition for me. Yeah. There are so many little things that people might not pick up on, even pros to this day, that you can just put yourself a little bit ahead of others and be just a little bit faster, a little bit more efficient, and that's how you win multiple championships in the title. Yeah. Because it's very competitive. Yeah. And I think the average talent in COD right now is higher, way higher than when I was playing. Yeah. But they aren't winning. Yeah. A lot of players are new and they're good, but they aren't winning.
Yeah. And then we go back to 20 minutes from this podcast, 20 minutes ago. If you played against the current state of current talent out there, your talent would elevate with them as well. It's not a thing where it's like, well, I can't compete here. It's not that. The more you play against people that are better than you, the more that you can elevate your own state. So who knows? Maybe you would have been pushed to become.
It's just a different game too. Yeah. Like, people play on way higher sensitivities now. Like, I'd have to crack up my sensitivity. It's sink or swim. You have to become as competitive as the people around you. And if you don't, then you'll just drop off.
Adapt or die.
And people thought I was doing so poorly in like AW. It was like, oh, Teep, you were so garbage at that game. It's like, my average placing still wasn't that bad. Yeah. If people had the average placing that I had then, now, people would be okay with it. Yeah. So it's just all scale, and it's
only okay when you're doing it.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
but I understand it too, because what people expected of me was so high. Yeah. And I expected so highly of myself. So at that time, getting top 8 in AW, that was me playing like shit. Yeah. So I completely understand it too. Yeah. But people need to keep the scope on the right scale.
I laughed at when was it? I don't know. A couple of weeks ago, Nate was telling me how he was trying to. And I don't know if I'm talking out of school here, but it's in good-heartedness. But Nate's players were like, I don't know, they try to take a jab at Nate, and then he's like, well, time out. I have more championships than all you motherfuckers, all right? So, ease up. Yeah. Like, yeah, sure. I may not be able to compete right now, but you gotta respect the fact that I did something. And it's fucking Nate shot, okay?
Exactly.
Even if you win 10,000 tournaments from here on out, you may never be able to achieve the level of success that this dude has achieved, transcending, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I don't know, again, it was all in good fun and all that shit, but...
It's fun to take jabs at one another when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah, it is when you mean it, though, that you're just like, you need to check yourself.
Well, I can completely agree with Nate Shot on some of that stuff. It's like, we're pretty calm. We don't have an ego about that type of stuff. We did well in our time, and we sort of like moved on. But if people want to challenge us on it, it's like, what do you got, like 1 or 2 championships. Who's talking?
How many do you have total?
So it's kind of skewed at the time. I don't even know how many land wins I have because majors were, we counted like online ones as majors.
Including UMGs and all that.
Yeah, people say like 18 for the majors for me.
18?
For lands, it's probably like 13, I don't know, something around that range.
So still 99.999% of the players currently playing will never be able to achieve that.
Probably.
Yeah, period. So just take that into consideration when you try to challenge somebody,
I just hate talking like that, though, because it makes me just come off as like pompous.
Not at all,
and
dude. You're
like
in good
that.
company, dude.
Yeah.
All right, I'll tell you that.
Fair enough. I respect that.
Yeah,
but like people hear that and they're like, oh, this guy is washed up now and all that type of stuff. I'm like, well, calm it down a little bit.
Yeah. It's like I chose to not. I try to give you a platform. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm letting you win some. Maybe I have a better chance, and then you're still not doing it. I often get into these mental arguments with myself about whether or not it's ego or it's egotistical, or if it's you just spitting fucking facts.
Right.
If you were lying and said, I won 20 championships, or something skewed, I get it. But if you're saying, and you're downgrading it and saying some of these won't consider that, and you're saying 18's 18, period. I'm not bragging. I'm telling you what I did.
Right.
So it's not as hard, right? Right now you can say, right now you could say, it's like, I'm the most sub 2 blackout, player in the world, and that's not bragging. These are just facts.
Mm-hmm. It just depends on who you're talking to and how you say it, I guess.
Yeah. See, I never sugar, because especially when I'm, not that it means anything or anything, but when I'm around dudes, I'm a dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I come from the 90s, so anything that I say period is period. I don't care about guys' feelings.
Right.
I never have.
I respect that
completely.
completely.
I don't understand how people soften their tone for. I never would soften my tone for any dude ever.
Oh, I do it sometimes. Yeah. I had to in my pro career too. I think one of my biggest accomplishments is staying sane throughout our dynasty run.
Yeah.
I will give someone a lot of money if they could put up with Aches, Clay, and Krim during that time.
Yeah.